At this point, we'll go to some presentations and recognitions, that is the awards and recognitions. And we'll start with the big one, which is the Bronze Wolf. So may I invite production to play the Bronze Wolf video.
Good afternoon, conference. The lunch was not too heavy. Are you not so sleepy? No, you're okay. My real name is Nana Scout Africa. My nickname is Luc Panisso, and I happen to be not the, but a former SG of WUSM. Let me introduce this ceremony as follows. The Bronze Wolf is the only award made by the World Scout Committee. It is given solely in recognition of its outstanding service by an individual to the World Scout movement. Approval for the institution of the award was made by the International Committee meeting in Stockholm on 2nd August 1935. And evidently, the committee unanimously awarded the first Bronze Wolf to the Chief Scout of the world, Lord Baden-Powell. Gonçalves, former chairman of the World Scout Committee and Bronze Wolf holder, to present the Bronze Wolf, and for Winston Adam, a well-known scout in Africa and a Bronze Wolf holder also, to present the certificate. Please. You read.
Before the award, let me just make this citation of Jemima. Jemima's involvement in scouting started as an adult leader when she ran a scout group from 1998 to 2002 at Happy Kids Schools. In 2011, she opened a community scout group which had a great impact on the local young people and improved education and health and the wider community. Experiences at national and world levels followed. Jemima contributed significantly to the development of scouting in Ghana when she served as Deputy Chief Commissioner from 2001 to 2010, providing leadership in areas such as public relations, communications, the environmental program, and gifts for peace. Jemima was the conference director for the very successful 14th Africa Conference held in Ghana in 2010. During this time, Jemima displayed strong leadership skills and worked tirelessly to make the conference the success it was. Jemima was elected a member of the Africa Scout Committee for the 2007-2009 triennium, where she served as a committee liaison to the Southern Africa Zone. She was later elected chairperson of the Africa Scout Committee in 2010-2012, becoming a non-voting member of the World Scout Committee. As the Africa Scout Committee chair, Jemima was instrumental in mitigating and resolving governance conflicts in several NSOs. Jemima was elected to the World Scout Committee in 2014 and served as vice chairperson of the World Scout Committee for 2 trienniums until 2021. On that period, she took on several responsibilities, such as member of the steering committee, the Reaching Out to All task force, the Better World 10 team at the World Scout Jamboree, the search committee for the recruitment of Secretary General, and the WASM-WAGS consultative committee. Over the years, Jemima has contributed immensely to the growth and development of Scouting at local, national, regional, and global levels of the movement. Jemima is an embodiment of Scouting value of inclusion. She shows in action the essence of acceptance and not just tolerance, by always working to ensure that everyone around her feels accepted and valued. As a strong advocate for diversity and inclusion, Jemima has inspired and coached many young people globally, some of whom are presently leaders at global, regional, zonal, and national levels in WASM. In particular, Jemima has inspired young women to become leaders within their NSOs, and female leadership has increased due to her inspiring leadership and its impact on girls and women in Scouting. Jemima's example and encouragement has also been an important incentive for young female Scouters to be nominated as candidates for several bodies and then be elected. Jemima's Scouting journey is an inspiration to Scouts and non-Scouts alike. Having missed the opportunity to be a Scout herself as a young person, Jemima works to ensure that young people are given this life-changing opportunity. She embraces and lives Scouting, sharing her love for our movement with all she meets. Jemima is affectionately and rightfully referred to as Mama Africa. We commend Jemima for her outstanding service to World Scouting. So I will therefore call upon João Armando Gonçalves, former chairman of the World Scout Committee, to present the Bronze Wolf Award, and Winston Adams, as well known Scout in Africa and Bronze Wolf holder, to present the certificate.
I think I'm so emotional. All I would say is thank you very much. Thank you.
Aho! 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 When I say Jemima, you say Nate. Jemima. Jemima. When I say Mama, you say Africa. Mama. Africa. Mama. Africa. Congratulations. Okay, as promised, we'll provide our own entertainment today. Malungo from Angola had booked that he wants to teach us a song. Yeah, he booked when he just got his ticket to Kenya. So, umeo amigo. Let's give him a round of applause as he comes.
Good afternoon, everybody. Boa tarde a todos. Bonsoir à tous. We will learn music, so I ask you to stand up. Bellarmino will help. Bellarmino, help, please. No? Okay. The song is Tumba Katumba, Tumba Katumba, Tumba Katumba, Tumba Katumba, Tumba, and then we'll Aleya.
You continue Tumba Katumba, Tumba Aleya. Tumba Katumba on this side.
Aleya. Okay.
Alea, that side. Okay.
Yes. Ale. Aleya.
Loud. Tumba Katumba.
Aleya.
Tumba Katumba.
Aleya. Let's repeat. Aleya.
On this side.
Aleya.
Alea. Alea. Alea.
Katumba.
Alea. Alea. Together, Tumba Katumba.
I mean, wait. Now we'll sing. Tumba, 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 katumba di.
Only this side. Only this side here.
Only this side.
Tumba, 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 tumba di. Tumba, 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 tumba di.
Then tumba
di, tumbata, tumbati, tumbata, tumba, 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 tumbata, tumba, 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 tumba.
Let's sing all the music, please.
Okay.
Let's repeat. Tumba. Un, dos.
Tumba, katumba, tumba, katumba, tumba, katumba, tumba, katumba, tumba,
Aleya.
tumba, katumba, tumba, katumba. Loud. Tumba, katumba, tumba, katumba, tumba, katumba, tumba, katumba, tumba, katumba,
Aleya.
Tumba, katumba, 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 tumba, 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 katumba, tumba, katumba, tumba, tumba, katumba, tumba, together, katumba, tumba, katumba. Now it's our time. Katumba, tumba, katumba, tumba, katumba, tumba ti, tumba ta, tumba ti, tumba ta, tumba, 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 tumba ti, tumba, 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 tumba ta, tumba, katumba. Together, tumba, katumba.
Set bravo, 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 bravo.
Muito obrigado. Okay, we proceed with the next awards. And now we go to the Africa Elephant Award. So may I invite Winston, and Mustaf will be supporting the team, Winston and Luke, for the award of the elephants in Africa. So welcome, Winston.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good afternoon, conference. Before we start with the presentations, at the request of the regional director, I want to just set out clearly again criteria for this award. We received 19 applications and could only make 7 awards. And I'll tell you what the problem is. This elephant is Africa region's top and only award, and it's given in recognition of outstanding service. Not long service, not for the position you've held, but for outstanding. What have you done and achieved in your association or beyond that has been remarkable? This is not a substitute for national awards. Each NSO should be having, if they were not already developed them, their own national awards where they recognize their people, and don't wait for a 5-year conference like this to send us 3-4 applications. Who qualifies for this award? Members of the movement, uniform and non-uniform. And it's not for presidents and chief commissioners and chief scouts only. It is for people of any rank who have done exceptional service in their association and to the movement. We received 1 application for a lady. In other words, in this whole region, no other women qualify for this award. And I can't believe that that is true. So we must ask associations, when you look again at who you should be nominating, please think also of your female leaders. So the criteria in recognition of this exceptional service for positions, people who hold positions with integrity and who live the values of scouting. And so the motivation becomes the most important thing. Not how many medals you've held, not how many wonderful things you've done. It is what is the motivation? Why do your peers feel that you deserve this award? Who can apply for it? Members of the Africa Committee, your own National Scouts Associations, and people who already hold the award can apply. but you cannot apply for yourself. And we've had people in this instance who've applied for themselves and told us how wonderful they are and all the rest of it. But you cannot apply for yourself. It's your peers who must recognize you, not you yourself. The other thing we need to mention, we cannot give one association 2 or 3 or 4 medals at a time. This is such a special award that you want to recognize one special person. If 4 of us all get it, then you're not recognizing me really. So please, when you consider one person per year, and you can apply any time. It doesn't have to be at the time of the Africa Scout Conference. You can apply any year, provided it's one application per person per year. And then it doesn't have to wait for a regional conference for presentation. You have annual general meetings, you have Africa Day, you have all kinds of occasions within your own association when you can be honoring your leaders. So you send these applications anytime during a year. The Africa Committee appoints an honors and awards committee. My colleagues who join me on the stage here are some members of that committee. We don't make the awards. We recommend them to the Africa Committee, who have the final say. So we may think someone's wonderful and deserve, and they go through this and say, we don't think so. So please don't think, if you didn't get an award, blame Winston Adams and his pals. It's not us. Okay. Having said that, I would now like to invite my colleagues who hold the awards to come up onto the stage and help me with a presentation. Luke Paniso, Maggie Kihosi, Wayne Davis, Hendrik Soderman, Marcel Blanquet, Jeremy Naivasha, Jemima Nati, Jim Kostelik. And they are holders of the awards. Only holders can present to others, and they will join me now. And Mustafa. Okay. Thank you. The first award will go to Gilbert Masumba of Democratic Republic of Congo. Gilbert is awarded the Africa Elephant in recognition of his outstanding service, coordinating the Great Lakes region, frequently dealing with conflicts, and his leadership and exceptional achievements with the Amahora Amani project. He contributed to the organization and development of his association and provided guidance and advice on governance and adult development issues to the Burundi Scout Association, who also nominated him. So I will now invite Luke Paniso to present the medal to Gilbert and Maggie Kihosi to present the certificate. The next award is to Nkosi Nati Charles Tumbalo of Eswatini. And this is in recognition of outstanding service rendered to Scouting in Africa and in the Southern Zone, where he has been both Secretary and currently Chairman. And the award to him will be presented by Dr. Wayne Davis with certificate from Hendrik Soderman. The medal is by Dr. Wayne. The next award is to Palemwe Ayim of Togo. In recognition of his special focus in the Togo Scouts Association on youth development and well-being, his contribution to the development of the National Youth Program, as well as his continued participation and advocacy against violence and extremism in his country. The medal will be presented by Marcel Blaguet, the certificate by Wayne Davis. Go. The next recipient is Ignatius Noah Kajongo, President of Scouts Zimbabwe. The award will be received on his behalf by the Chief Commissioner Sylvester Chianga of Zimbabwe. The medal will be presented by Jeremy Naivasha, the certificate by Jemima Nati. The next recipient is Ezekiel Malenia of Botswana. In recognition of his promotion of good governance, both in Botswana Scouts Association and in the neighboring countries of the Southern Zone, his generous contribution of financial assistance and materials to support Scout training and adult development, and the ability to mobilize resources through a network of entrepreneurs and government departments within his country and beyond. The medal will be presented by Maggie Kihosi and the certificate by Jeremy Naivasha. The next award is to Joseph Pierre Lopez of Senegal, in recognition of his exceptional leadership when President of the Association of Guides and Scouts. The award will be received by Leopold Coley, the President of Senegalese Scouts. Medal presented by Jemima, certificate by Marcel. And the final presentation is to Millie Siebrits of South Africa in recognition of her exceptional work as Chief Executive of Scouts South Africa, her support in the region with GSAT compliance and resource mobilization. She has been instrumental in the conception and rollout of the Food for Life program, which has been widely adopted as part of youth program in Africa. This would be received by Brendan Hausberger, former Chief Scout, who will eventually invite the Secretary General, once he's back in office, to present this to Millie on our behalf. So the award will be presented by Hendrik Soderman, with Jim Kostelik giving the certificate. That concludes our presentation.
And now the elephants will take a photo.
C'est pas moi, je suis pas éléphant. Bien fait là-dedans aussi. Il y a un autre gars,
I'll just stay here.
You missed it.
You know me, not fussy about those things.
Yeah. That's good. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's all right then.
You can sing for them, bravo, bravissimo, as they go down. Bravo, bravo, bravissimo. Okay, now to the next awards, and that is the Africa Scout Award, the highest and the only award given by the Africa Scout Committee to young people aged between 14 to 26 years for exemplary service. And to lead this, we have Grace.
Good afternoon, conference. Good afternoon, conference. I want to further emphasize the message that was passed by Winston. In this year, we received only 16 submissions from different NSOs, and this is just to reaffirm that one, this award, you can endorse your participant in your NSO during any time. Do not just wait for the conference here. Secondly, this year we also received only 2 nominations that were female out of the 16. So this is also a challenge to you. I know we have a lot of young people in your NSOs who are doing a great job. Kindly do nominate them when we open the award, and let's appreciate them on the work that they are doing. So the award is in form of a badge and also a certificate. And also some of the prerequisites for the badge are: the Africa Scout Award is intended to contribute to the development of communities through different initiatives by Scouts. We also aim to contribute to enhance the intake of the Scouts program. We also want to appreciate the role played by Scouts in creating a better world. So this is a call. Next year, I hope I'm going to receive so many nominations from the different NSOs. So we don't have Jonathan is going to come for that.
Yeah, so since in this hall, the only previous recipient of this award is Grace, she'll give the award. So it's not the first one.
Yeah.
So the first awardee is Kenneth Godfrey from the Scout Association of Nigeria. Kenneth has been actively involved in varsity scouting, which started at the University of Lagos and grew to 10 university scout groups. The scout groups were created to respond to the decline in membership, registration, and enrollment of young persons freshly out of secondary school. Varsity scouting ensures young people within the university communities are engaged in programs like scouting. His initiatives have helped to improve the quality, standards, and overall performance of youth program within the NSO. So this will be received on his behalf by the NSO leadership. The next awardee is Herman Jr. from the Federation Averian Biscuitism. So Herman created a project called Soyons Reglos, whose aim is to break the taboo around menstruation. This project was a caravan that traveled to target schools. Apart from raising awareness, it was also to provide sanitary wear to girls. Through this project, Herman Jr. helped reduce dropout and absence rates of girls in schools by providing feminine hygiene products in schools. The caravan was also a good channel for breaking the silence around menstrual topics. This again will be received on his behalf. The next awardee is Sheldon Marumbu from the Kenya Scout Association. Sheldon spearheaded Champions for Peace initiative targeting young people to be ambassadors of peace in societies through leveraging social media platforms. He has inspired his university's core group and larger Nyanza region youth to be messengers of peace through community initiatives. His contribution towards environment conservation, he started the Green Party initiative, under which 4 programs have been running: Trees for Peace Initiative, 1 million avocado seedlings, bamboo management and propagation, and civil education started and spearheaded a project that focuses on environmental conservation. So Sheldon, you'll remain on stage to help present this award. Yeah, so Grace, now it's back to you and Sheldon.
Okay. The next awardee today is Kofi Clavier Arnold, Federation Ivorian Du Scoutism. He leads multiple projects around environment, peace, health, and community. One of the projects was called Green Neighborhood Challenge Project. This initiative goal was to mobilize people of every age in the community to take action to reforest the urban areas. Through training and field actions, Claver promotes sustainable development, but has also helped raise the conversation on environmental education. Apart from schools and neighborhoods, this project also set up Women's Green Club. The club aims to promote ecological materials in the different marketplaces and to ensure that the environment remains clean. The award will also be received on his behalf by the NSO. The next awardee is Safidi Randria Mintosoa from the Federation of Madagascar. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Safidi ran a project on providing facilities and teaching the good gesture of hand washing in primary schools and in the community. The aim of the project was to raise awareness and to promote hand washing as an important hygiene practice to fight against all types of diseases, including COVID. The project involved 60 direct participants, but had more than 5,000 beneficiaries in the community. Let's give us we'll find it. We will request Safidi to also remain on the stage with me. The next awardee is from Uganda Scout Association, Angelo Gai. He was actively involved in the No Missed School Days campaign in Uganda. His team led a campaign on gender equality, ensuring that no school days are missed by young girls, thus educating the community about menstrual hygiene and to help them change cultural beliefs related to menstruation. Hashtag No Missed School Day. They have taught over 1,400 guides and scout leaders on how to make reusable pads and how to mainstream gender issues in their communities. Congratulations to him. And the seventh awardee of today is Ivy Murugi from Kenya. Kenya Scout Association. Ivy leads the Scouts Healing Invisible Wounds initiative, and this started at an opportune time during the pandemic where cases of mental health were on the rise. The team ran bi-weekly online meetings that attracted more than 12,000 reach cumulatively in the last 2 years. They have run psychosocial first aid camps, with more than 70 people trained to be mental health ambassadors. The NSO has further incorporated this initiative in their youth program activities. Congratulations to Ivy. This is to reaffirm one more time. By the awardees today, you can see very few NSOs sent nominations to the office. So kindly next year, please send in your nominations. And now the team that is available here will step forward and we'll have a photo of the Africa Scout awardees.
Let's give another round of applause to the young people. Karibu, and definitely, as mentioned by Grace, we have many young people out here doing a wonderful job. Let's give them that platform so that they can be recognized. Yeah. So over to you. Okay, at this point, we want to recognize previous awardees of the MOP Heroes. So I'll invite production just to play a video to recognize these previous awardees of the Messengers of Peace Heroes Award. Another big round of applause to the Peace Ambassadors. Okay, so our last batch of recognitions now. Let me invite my colleague Callisto. We'll be recognizing in areas of growth, wisdom services, humanitarian action, response, and COVID response. So over to you, Callisto.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good afternoon, conference. Great. So this is that moment that we want to appreciate our National Scout organizations who have done so well in terms of membership growth. And I'll go straight into it due to time. So these are National Scout organizations who have registered the highest number, the highest percentage of the market share in terms of membership growth within the triennium of 2018-2021. And I'll welcome Fred on stage together with our Secretary General to recognize these NSOs. As they come, I'll call on the first National Scout Organization, Fédération des Scouts de la République démocratique du Congo. Clap like you are happy for them. Thank you so much. The second one is Sao Tome de Principe. All right. So unfortunately, they've left already, and this will be delivered. And to the last one in this category, the Kenya Scouts Association. Thank you so much. So the next category is about WASM services. Every single time we saying that let's request for services. So this is the moment that we want to appreciate the top 3 National Scout Associations that requested the most services in the region. I'll start with Burundi. Thank you so much. And then the second one is Cabo Verde. And finally in this category is Eswatini Scout Association. Thank you so much, and thank you to both of you. Lastly, I'll go to the area of humanitarian action. Since we started this conference, there is no word that has been mentioned the most than COVID-19. And within this period, we had outstanding young people and members of National Scouts Associations all over Africa out in their communities doing outstanding projects to support their communities. So these are just some of those people that did outstanding job in their communities. The list is not exhaustive, and we recognize each and every one of you that was out there to support your communities. And now I'll invite Victor and our incoming chair, Maina. to help us in this award. The first person in this category is Abubakar Sadiq Mohammed from Nigeria. Abubakar was out in the community creating awareness and during COVID-19 about to the community, as well as providing the safety measures translated in the local language for the whole community, going ahead to use personal resources to buy some of the personal items needed to be protected from COVID-19. Thank you, thank you. The second person is Benjamin Ngusa. Benjamin is from Tanzania. He's not here, so a colleague from Tanzania can pick for him. Benjamin led the supply of COVID-19 protection and education materials across community. He helped the elderly to get the masks, sanitizers, information, and even do shopping when they were not able to get out due to the threat of COVID-19. The next one is Don Ledbetter from South Africa. Ms. Dawn led in food delivery to the elderly people in her province, was successful and met the need in the community by mobilizing young people to respond to this community disaster that spread across the whole province and other provinces in South Africa. The same design was replicated in other provinces in South Africa to help the communities across the whole country. The next person is Eric Muhirwa. Eric Muhirwa from Democratic Republic of Congo led in the social integration of street children and fighting abuse and discrimination during this time. He went ahead to support more than 200 street children and have made aware of the access of protective materials, provision of food, and 90 of them were able to be reintegrated back to their communities. The next person is Fatmata Samuela Sisei from Sierra Leone. And Fatmata was spreading information, cooking and supplying the food from their own home to the people who were not able to get food at that particular time. The next person from the Gambia is Mamadou Kuyate. Mamadou Kuyate Mamadou from the Gambia led in mobilizing community champions, the scouts, who joined the rest of the community, including partnership with World Health Organization to support their community in the North District of the Gambia. The next person is Safidi. And you already had the citation that Grace read, and that was done in response to COVID-19. And finally, in this category is Scouts Healing Invincible Wounds. This is a group of rover scouts who are working around health and well-being, especially mental health, creating safe spaces for young people to be able to afford psychosocial support, conducting community outreach, use of online space and trainings, and utilization of social media for advocacy, referring those who need professional help to support the community during COVID-19.
Thank you so much for that. Another round of applause. The last award, before I invite the outgoing chair to make his remarks, the last one is in recognition to the KCB Leadership Center for being our good hosts. They made us comfortable throughout our stay here. Let me invite Fred to present this on their behalf. Thank you so much. At this point, another round of applause to KCB Leadership Center. Yeah, thank you so much. I had people comparing notes at some point that the water is just at the right temperature in the morning. Okay, at this point, let me welcome Victor Atipaga, the outgoing chair of the Africa Scout Committee, to make his final address to the conference.
Good day to you all. Bonjour, boa tarde. Before I say a few remarks, at least in the capacity of outgoing chair, I want to respectfully invite on stage my friend, my regional director, Fred. Please come to join me. Fred joined the World Scout Bureau in a young national executive commissioner with the Ghana Scout Association when we hosted the 2014 Africa Scout Conference. I saw him from distance because I was busy working each night to make the conference beautiful with Madam Jemima. But over time, I have come to see him as a very strong and dynamic professional. And from the committee, we want to recognize Fred for his outstanding performance and service for the movement. I invite Lede to join me. Fred is now in his 12th year of service, and we can all attest that when they say Kama is coming, you know what is at stake. So on behalf of the regional team, we want to present this small token to show our appreciation for your selfless dedication to the movement and for how far you push us as a team and how we have been able to achieve tremendous gains together. Thank you, Fred. I would miss working with you, but I know I'm just a text away from you. I wish you all the best in your professional life and see you. So we have this simple gift. Why are you doing? we decided to borrow one of the words from our founder, BP, which says, "We never fail when we try to do our duty. We always fail when we neglect to do it." Thank you, Fred, for your service. It is always a bittersweet moment when we come to the end of a regional conference. It is always a bittersweet moment to come to the end of a conference. Sorry. We have forged new connections with each other and reconnected in persons after a time that it was impossible to come together. Indeed, Africa has spoken as a region, and I thank you all for giving your voice to this conference. I want to highlight the hard work from many parties who have made this event very possible, as well as the decisions you have made that is a strong sign of our growth and progress. My colleagues from the Africa Scout Committee, other colleagues from the World Scout Committee, staff of the Bureau, global and regional alike, leadership of the members of the Africa Scout Foundation, together with our ambassadors from all over the world, youth advisors to the Africa Scout Committee, national scout organizations and associations, friends from other regions, thank you. A very big thank you for service support over the entire period. You have all made a very remarkable contribution to making our term resultful, as well as helping us to learn from our weakness and providing the necessary direction for our cause. It is also time for me to reflect on my 4 years as chairperson of the Africa Scout Committee and 7 years as a member of the committee. As a leader, you must carefully choose the path you wish to follow. This is what I have done, and those before me have done. The Scout Vesper tells us as we come to the close of a day to ask ourselves if we have done our daily tasks, if we have kept our honor bright, if we can rest without guilt at night. For me, I can say that it has been an honor to serve you and lead you, and I'll keep these questions in my mind and heart moving into the future. But I must also say that there is a reason I am here today. A reason why I grew from a young, enthusiastic Cub Scout in Tamale, Ghana in 2001, into the person you chose to help light the path forward as a chairman in 2018 in Harare, Zimbabwe. I have learned many things along this journey that I have taken till now. I have not always been perfect, but I've always been present and done my very best to learn to work with all and experience the struggles, challenges, and opportunities for our NSOs and NSOs through our regional events, consultant missions, government and partner meetings, which have all been a quota of branding our movement to enabling 100 million active scouts worldwide. Some years ago, before I knew many of the things I know now, the leaders of our great region made a strategic choice. They decided that if we wanted real youth engagement, we needed to develop young people so they understood context, so they could speak in their own right, so they could start themselves along a path of growth. I and many others in this room today attended a training called Developing Leadership in Young People, and the seed we planted then has borne great fruit. Not only did we hold that training, but we have continued on this path and growing many generations of leadership over the last 10 years. Today, actually, or this month, is the 10 years of developing leadership in young people. Let us look around the room today and see individuals like Nelson and Jude from the Africa Support Center in Kenya, Marie-Louise from Cote d'Ivoire, Howard from Malawi, Liberty of Blessed Memory, Paddington from Zimbabwe, Grace Michuki from Kenya, Beskuda from Cameroon, Ledet from Ethiopia, Kathleen from South Africa, and many others. Who here could say we did not want so much competent and passionate individuals in our own organization? I want to issue us this challenge today. Today, we have 39 out of 40 member organizations present at our conference. A record, I must say. As I have mentioned a couple days ago, if each of our 40 countries hold one such training every year in this triennium, that reaches just 10 young people. If only 5 of those young people continue to grow and lead in scouting, the next time we meet as a conference in Madagascar, we will have 600 young people with the knowledge, voice, tools, and passion to succeed. And if you reach 20 young people each year, and just 10 continue, we will have 1,200 in 2025. It is often said that we want the young people to get involved when they are ready. It falls upon us NSOs and NSA leaders to make them ready. Teach them to grow and let them thrive. I want to say Scouting is a youth movement facilitated by adults. There is space for wisdom and space for youthful energy. There is space for caution and tradition, and space for the new. There is space for all able and willing hands who want to work for a better world. Let us all be equal partners in investing in the future of our movement. Current and future generations are relying on us to shape a connected future. They are hungry for change, hungry for knowledge, and hungry for growth and purpose. Let us make a future that enables them to contribute and help resolve the many challenges the world expects in the coming years. We may make mistakes. Let us learn from those mistakes. We may see change and crisis. Let us continue to be prepared. We may find moments we do not know where to go. Let us look to the best practice and higher purpose. Above all, let us work together in our many differences and create purposeful change for Scouting. It has been an honor to lead and serve our movement, and I thank you for putting your trust in me. Thank you, and God bless you. As my last official act as chair, I have the pleasure to invite the new chair for the Africa Scout Committee 2022-2025, my colleague, friend, and brother Maina Kranga, to make his official remarks.
Thank you, outgoing chair. You know, when you get a stage, when people are feeling sad and sorrowful as our friend is exiting the stage, it can be very difficult. So let me start by saying all protocol observed. My short speech will be a way of introducing myself. Who is Maina? Because you know, just somebody who appeared from nowhere, some secret voting somewhere, and all of a sudden, I don't know what the color of the smoke was, and you are told you have a chair. So let me begin by sharing my most sincere gratitude to this conference for availing me the opportunity to join the front line of the movement in Africa, because that's where I feel I am now. Some 44 years ago, Howard, you are not born by then, eh? Yeah? In this background, thank you. There was once a productive farm. You know, I don't know whether you're curious to ask this Karen here, you are. What was it? You are on a farm, coffee farm, which was begun by a great lady called Baroness, who? Karen Blixen, of the great Out of Africa fame. If you never watched that movie, please watch it one day. It ends with, I had a farm in Africa. That is where you are today. In the background of this farm are the great hills of Ngong. When I was a schoolboy, that was our greatest ambition. That was the biggest mountain we went to climb. I remember when I was a Form 2 in my high school in Mangu, we came and went to climb that hill. And I'm still climbing hills, and I don't think I've reached where we are supposed to be. For the last 11 years, I've lived and worked in Botswana. I feel indebted to the scouts of this great nation who welcomed me in their midst, making me one of them. There is a saying in Kikuyu language which says, "Enoragia haria egwete." A cow fertilizes a place where it sleeps every evening. I really hope that being in Botswana has fertilized the ground where I am. I today feel I'm a world citizen where I have responsibilities to the world and not just my country or my immediate community. I am lucky to have been shaped by the travels I've made around the world. And when I saw Benin, there are two Ahmeds here today. This gentleman seated here from Pan-African Youth Movement. I had an opportunity to talk to him, and he reminded me of the trip 35 years ago in Angola. We are there as Pan-African Union. I know we had a clause, Viva Africa. We are sure the victory is certain. So when I talked to him and I looked at Pan-Africanism from Angola, I remembered that when we left that great meeting, we ended up in Njili Airport. Where is Njili? Our friend from Congo. We were three of us, and one of the students we had did not have a visa to enter Democratic Republic of Congo, that time called Zaire. So in solidarity, we decided to sleep at the airport for 3 days. This gentleman was from Chad. So when I see my brothers from Chad, I always remember. One other lessons we learned that time, we had very little money for food at the airport. But when we tried to go to the toilet, they told us we had to pay. Then I remembered, a scout makes good use of his money, time, and everything he has. So every time I see people walk out, I imagine if we are charging there, maybe we'll have planted a few more trees. Most of my early scouting was self-taught. In the schools where I went, we didn't have scout leaders. You know, this was a notion we are getting today. But we had a wonderful scout library. And we had a scout librarian. We borrowed all the books of Baden-Powell. And we knew how to organize a patrol. We had a librarian in the school. I was an infirmarian. So when I came here, I know Jakala. Where is Omondi today? Aha! The first question I asked was not a very polite question. I went to the toilet there and there were no condoms, and I got a little worried. Said, what is happening? I'm sure Jakala must have wondered, Maina, what did we come to do? When I'm not doing scouting, I do HIV and AIDS work. That started with my day as an infirmarian. I had hoped to be a doctor one day. My daughter realized I failed. So she went to school. She became a doctor. She just finished her internship a month ago. The story of African scouting is poorly captured in writing. We don't write about Africa. In fact, as I was here, I was wondering, how much reading have you had, Andy, about scouting in Africa, other than learning about Baden-Powell? And when I look at the merchandise we sell out here, I don't see anything you can carry and read and say, this is the way scouting began in Mefeking, this is Nyeri. You'll go with t-shirts. So I hope, and this is a challenge to us, the many experiences we have, we need to write them. And there I take the writing from Chinua Achebe, who wrote in his book in 1958, the great book, Things Fall Apart. I don't know if he should have written Things Come Back. He said, until the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter. So let's start writing, and I brought a book here written by a young man out there, Tony Gitonga, please. During the first World Scout Moot, where I was privileged to have been the camp chief, Gitonga was a very young man, and he realized that the basis of that moot, there is a book you can read about rovering. I have benefited from discerning ears of late Major Murugu. For some of you who will remember him, I presented to him a proposal. He was the regional director sitting in the seat Kamakama is. So I followed him up. He had a meeting in Arusha, and we presented a big proposal of doing scouting activity in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Major Morogo listened to it, and he supported us. And if you see the relationship I have with my Ugandan friends and the Kenyan friends, they start from that great program of scouting for solutions. During the funeral of Major Murugu, unfortunately, we attended the funeral service at Starehe Boys Center. This was a great institution where some people in here, Captain Nelson Opanya, I like calling him Captain, there was a great scholar there of this institution, and I wanted to borrow the words. When the manager of this center, Dr. Griffin, died, he left a little secret to be shared with the students. And let me read the paragraph he wrote. The world is full of people who do their duty half-heartedly, grudgingly, and poorly. So you're doing your work and you're complaining, oh, this camera is very heavy. You don't know somebody that is even wishing he could have that camera to do the work you're doing. We work and we say, I am tired. Where I come from, we say, kelapile, meaning I am very tired. So what Griffin said, don't be like them. Whatever is your duty, do it as full and perfectly as you can. And once you finish your duty, go on to spare some time and talent in the service of the less fortunate people without a reward, but because that is the right thing to do. Griffin said, follow my advice in this, and I promise you that your lives will be happy and successful. And below there, he wrote, may God bless you. I underline the word here, happy and successful. Let's try and smile. You see, every time I take a photo, I try to smile. If something is making me sad, it's the wrong place for me. There's a translator. I am very sorry. You know, I'm very dynamic. That's one thing you learn from me. I forgot that there's a translator that I have to be transfixed here. You remember our founder used the same. He said, if we want to grow the Scout movement, we need to attract young people so that they can come to a movement where they can be happy, where they can exploit their talent, where they can see their aspiration, and they can discover their sense of purpose. You remember the adage used, a fisherman does not bait his hook with food he likes. He uses food the fish like. So as we lead this great movement, trying to contribute to getting 100 million scouts, let's ask ourselves, what bait are we using for the young people to join scouting? I'm going to use an analogy here. I attended a national youth service some time back. I'm looking at the movement and the image of movement. And why I was bringing this up is because when Bening Ahmed came here, we are looking at how can we attract people? How can we make scouting attractive not only to young people, but also to other stakeholders? And I remember there's a gentleman who told us the best way to catch a butterfly. Which one do you think is the best way to catch a butterfly? You can run with a net, chasing all the butterfly. When it gets in, you turn in. But that trick, you are going to break a few, what do you call them? Feathers of the butterfly or the wings. So what this old man told us, he told us the best way to catch butterfly is put a light somewhere. They will come, the big one, the small one, the colorful. So in our movement, let us put a light. And the best light currently we have is GSAT. We are telling people we are providing you quality. You imagine that you're promising the world that if your children come here, they will have quality scouting. So that's the first thing. Then the next one, they used to get worried. Oh, I take my daughter or my son. Will they be sexually abused? We say, no. Safe from harm. That was the second greatest introduction to scouting. It is not only fun, but we are saying safe fun. So let's market this, that the scoutings can come and we can enjoy safe fun. To cut it short, let me get to the issue of COVID because we are looking at the achievement of the committee. You remember this committee worked at a period when we had COVID. Many of us were working from home, Victor. It was hard to have meetings. In fact, it surprises me that we are here without a mask. Yeah? So, I looked at Lord Baden-Powell's last word too in 1941 when he was breathing his last. He left a few words there, just like Griffins did, and he said, sleeves up and with your tails up, go to it and win the war. So here we are. We need to fold our sleeves. I don't know Nati, whether we have a tail. I don't know what he meant. I need people who studied literature to say, what did Baden-Powell mean by the tail? Yeah? Anyway, I'm just saying, my colleagues, let us endeavor and let us not make the sky the limit. That was another quotation I got. When we talk, we say the sky is the limit for this committee. The sky is not the limit, okay? It's us who are the limit. My last comment here is to wish to thank those people who have believed in me, people who have pushed me when I thought I was so busy. And one of them is Ezekiel Malenya seated there. We work together. Every time I think I'm so busy, Ezekiel pushes me and tells me, Maina, you're not busy enough. You can do a little more. Lastly, we cannot become what we want to be by remaining what we are. We cannot become what we want to be by remaining what we are. We have to push the boundaries. We have to work harder. We have to move from our comfort zones. And together we are going to achieve. Thank you so much. Asanteni. Bravo!
Thank you so much, the incoming chair, Bwana Maina, for that wonderful remark to the conference. Thank you so much, Victor, the outgoing chair. But that title is always the chair. Yeah, the chair remains. No one mentions incoming or outgoing. So thank you so much, Chair Victor. Thank you so much, Chair Maina. At this point, may I invite the chair of the World Scout Committee, Andy, to say his last remarks to the conference. Karibu sana.
Hello. Hello, dear friends. As it is said, all good things must come to an end. But this 18th Africa Scout Conference has not just been a good thing. It has been a great thing. Therefore, this is not coming to an end, but this is just the beginning. This is the beginning for how all of us will change our trajectory based on what we have learned and decided at this conference, and bring scouting to millions of more young people here in Africa. And I am confident that all of us here can achieve this, as we are a strong movement, united by the Scout promise that we have all once taken. I can't help, when experiencing this conference, but reflect on my own journey as a young person, and how scouting helped provide me a moral compass to shape how I envisioned the future. As a young scout, one of my favorite experiences was attending summer camps, sometimes for weeks at a time. I would beg my parents to let me go an extra week. And what I treasured most about those experiences was the opportunity to meet with fellow young peers in an environment free from external influence, free from our own socio-economic bubbles that we all lived in our homes. Scouting provides this space for young people to contribute as independent individuals while remaining united in our work towards our common mission and vision. Millions of Scouts, just like me, are products of the Scouting program, but it's only because of the incredibly dedicated volunteers like all of you here in this room. The movement owes you all a debt of gratitude, for you are the unsung heroes that work so diligently behind the scenes at the national level to ensure that young people at the local level have access to this same transformational Scouting program that we all had the opportunity to grow in. So I thank you all for what you have done, but more importantly, I thank you all for what you will do in the future, and for the young people you will help transform to be the leaders of tomorrow. I want to congratulate the Africa Scout Committee, the World Scout Bureau Africa Support Center, under the great leadership of Regional Director Frederick, our event chairs as well, congratulations, and all the volunteers for an excellent conference. I also want to congratulate the newly elected youth advisors and Regional Scout Committee. As you can see, you have some very big shoes to fill. But please know that we are all here to support you, because your success is everyone's success. And lastly, I want to thank my dear friend Victor for his 7 years of service on the Regional Scout Committee. Victor, it's been a true pleasure working with you on the World Scout Committee these past 4 years. Your contributions as the chair of the Africa Scout Committee have been nothing short of exceptional, and we will miss having you with us. I'm also pleased to welcome the newly elected chairperson, Maina, as a member of the World Scout Committee. I know I can speak for the entire World Scout Committee in saying that we are sending you our congratulations and looking forward to working with you under your strong leadership. In closing, I want to leave you with some final words, also from our founder, Baden Powell, who's laid to rest here in Nyeri, Kenya. Be content with what you have got and make the best of it. Look on the bright side of things instead of the gloomy one. But the real way to get happiness is by giving happiness to other people. Try to leave this world a little better than you found it. And when your turn comes to die, you can die happy, feeling that at any rate you have not wasted your time, but you have done your best. Be prepared in this way to live happy and to die happy. Stick to your Scout promise, always, even after you've ceased to be a youth, and God help you to do it. Thank you again for inviting me to be here and welcoming into such a welcoming and inclusive environment. And as we say in the United States, country roads take me home. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Let's try that song. Country road, take me home. Yeah, even if you don't, just do something. Just say something. Thank you so much, Chair. At this juncture, may I invite Ahmad to give us his closing address.
Jambo Conference. Jambo. How's the level of your energy at this stage? Good? This high?
This high? No. This high? No. Okay, this high? Yes. 5 more days or ready to go home? Oh, just thanks. So, well, brothers and sisters, it's fantastic to have witnessed this beautiful conference. It's a beautiful show of solidarity, of learning for all of us to come together. It's not easy to be almost the last speaker of this conference, especially after Andy. I align fully with your words. And as they say, everything has been said, but not by everyone, so I can't repeat. I just want to thank the team for the tremendous work put to plan and bring us together after 4 years. I'd like to commend Africa team, volunteers, the staff, committee, consultants, everyone who came from far and near to support the delivery of this conference. We're very proud of you for your hospitality and the way you have supported this event, to the Kenyan Scouts and to the outgoing members of the regional committee, our brother Victor, for your service, and for the incoming ones. I also want to add my thanks to everyone who came forward and offered their service, whether elected or not. Because there is nothing more precious than coming forward and offering your service or deciding to bid for a conference and open your home. We have seen that hospitality and that excitement. Our brothers and sisters in Niger and all the candidates to the regional committee and the candidates to the youth advisor position. Just by the fact that you came forward and said, I'm ready to serve, that's beautiful. And we are lucky to serve with the one we will be serving with, but we are luckier because we have this many who are ready to serve and support. The last closing note I want to share with you, I thought should be about one feature of our movement. We have debated, and you debated during the conference, the question of youth engagement. You debated every number of measures how you can strengthen youth engagement. And I know some of you were thinking, what about us, the not so young? And the young people were thinking how we can make it more youthful. One of the most beautiful things about Scouting, not this only it's an international or interreligious movement, or that it brings so many different cultures, but our movement is intergenerational too. For the old I say, not so young, you are never too old to learn and to empower others to come forward, to give the space for young people. But we're not asking you to retire. We're not asking you to stop your service. There's no expiry date for service. But because there's no expiry date for service, there's also no future activation date for leadership for young people. The time for them to lead is also now. There's absolutely space for everyone. And that's what's the beautiful thing about Scouting. Everyone should come forward and make a full contribution. I count on all of you to make sure that more young people in Africa are able to come to the front lines of service. At the same time, we'll continue counting on the experience and the rich contributions by everyone and every leader. So this is it for us. A conference was convened, decisions taken, election made, direction for the future drawn, and we decided on a wide range of things. But the most beautiful thing I carry home with me from here is where we started, saying, don't ever take for granted having 172 nations in this divided world that decide to stay united. That's a big thing.